And we're live.
I'm just going to stay on the
All right, here we go. Sorry we're a little bit late today. We got some preseason to talk about. There we go. Welcome one. Welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It's NFC North Talk with your host. That's me, Russell Wayne. And it is Monday. It is August the 21st. Thank you very much for making us one of your listens every single day here on the weekdays right here. And I am joined, as always, on the phone right now with Main Event Mike. Mike, how are you doing out there?
I'm doing great, Russ. Thanks for having me this morning.
We got some people up in here. We got Jason. We want to give some shout outs to the people that are on here every day. Jason, Rashnish, the Bear fan right there. What is going on? Woody from Bear Down Nation right there. Yo. Yeah, Mike is Woody. Yeah, Mike keeps calling. That's what oh yeah, rolling that. So the Dwayne is there, Rashnish, Jason. Okay, I think everybody's got a couple of comments in there, but we had some preseason. We had some preseason games. NFC North as a whole, we got 0-4. So we got a bunch of losses to talk about. Anything you want to start with, Mike?
Well, first thing I want to start with is I want to address all the haters in there that are commenting about the offensive line play of the last preseason game.
Oh, that's what we want to. You want to jump right in on that? Yeah, we take a lot of that's a lot of criticism that we're getting right here. The Detroit Lions offensive line did not play well. They the Lions got steamrolled by the Jacksonville Jaguars 25-7, and the offensive line didn't look very good. But it should be noted, as we're going through here, and I'm just throwing this out here. I mean, excuses are not making excuses, but as we go through on our offensive line, the entire offensive line was out. They didn't play Sam Laporta as a tight end. Let me look at this offensive line list right here. When you're looking at there was no Haloti Pudi Vaitai. There was no Jonah Jackson, no Frank Ragnow, no Penei Sewell, no Taylor Decker, and no first reserve Graham Glasgow either. So you're rolling out there with guys that are going to be competing for that 7th, maybe 8th spot on the offensive line, and they didn't play very well. What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, they didn't play very well. And in our groups, the Detroit Lions main event and NFC North, the huddle, there are a lot of people bashing the Lions, saying, the offensive line has no depth. But I mean, that's just, you're an uneducated slug if that's your take.
Right.
Because the 5 starters across the front are as good as any in the league. We've got Graham Glasgow and a couple of decent backup depth pieces. No offensive line has more than that. Like you said, Russ, these are guys who are not going to make the team. They're basically playing for practice squad jobs. Okay. So the fact that they get steamrolled by the Jacksonville Jaguars means absolutely nothing. I mean, if one guy goes down, we got to back up to fill. If two goes down, we got to back up to fill. If three goes down, I don't care what team you are.
Right.
If three of your starting offensive linemen go down, you're screwed. So these guys getting manhandled by Jacksonville means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and I will note that the two highest graded guys on the offense were Nelson and they had God, I can't think of the other offensive lineman. Ifedi, I think it's Ifedi. Those were two higher rated guys, and those were two of the guys that they're probably going to be at the bottom of that depth chart. So, best players were playing good. Let's get into a little bit of Minnesota right here, because I want to do a little smorgasbord, a little round the robin right here, so we can kind of rip at everybody. We'll go with the Minnesota Vikings. They lose 24-13. Player stats, 14 for 20 for Nick Mullins, 139 yards and a touchdown. The Ty Chandler. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong am I looking at the wrong one? Yes, I am. I am looking at the wrong one. That's not who they played, is it? No, we played Titan. They played Titans. The Titans, 24-16 over. Titans win. And let's look at the real stats here, because it was pretty good last year or last week. So, Malik Willis goes 10 for 17, 85 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So let me. Julius Chestnut averages 7.5 yards a carry, 98 yards. And Malik Willis rushes for 11 yards, 91 yards. So they kind of got gashed in the run game as far as their backups as well. What do you think about Minnesota Vikings getting beat up by the Titans?
Again, preseason, I don't think it means very much, but if Malik Willis went down and scored on him the way he did on the Bears, that might be an area of concern for Minnesota, even if it is their backups.
Let's see what we got in here. Oh, my God. Jeremy says, back was played bad. Say it isn't so. Okay. Let's see. Rushnees. Well, Chicago didn't play their starting O-line, so what's the problem? Right? Okay. We weren't. Let me see if I find anything.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about Chicago yet. I hadn't got. Okay, let's get into the Chicago since we got that in there. Chicago goes down to the Indianapolis Colts, 24-17. You're looking at Nathan Peterman. Probably, it looks like he's slinging the ball better than Justin Fields was. No, kidding. Nathan Peterman, 10 completions out of 18, 115 yards and a touchdown. Roshan Johnson had 7 carries for 32 yards. That's kind of what you're looking for in that. Looked like
there's 4.4 yards. That's 4.4 yards per carry, which is the league average. So Roshan's looking good. I like what he brings to the table. And Chicago Bears, and just for Rajneesh's comment there, the fact is none of the starters on the offensive line in Chicago could start in Detroit. So the fact that their backups did better than our backups is irrelevant.
Nice. And then the Green Bay Packers just going through, they lose 21-17 to the New England Patriots.
That game suspended, of course, because of the injury to Isaiah Bolden carting off the field.
Right.
All of the Patriots players were freaked out. Bill Belichick just stepped in and said, no, we're done. In fact, he even went so far as to cancel next week's practices with Tennessee. And they're just going to go home and practice on their own back in Foxborough and get ready for the last preseason game against the Titans. So the Packers win because the game was suspended. Yeah,
but here we are. Like we say, it's preseason. it's crazy that we could use any of these things because we're going to be on the smack talking thing. Why don't you plug the SmackDown talking for tonight? Because we're going to be talking the smack on preseason games tonight.
It is the NFC North Open mic every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we bring the smack talk. All 4 fan bases are in. Tune in tonight. Stop being a keyboard warrior and show your yellow face.
Yeah, and we get to talk all this keyboard tough guy stuff, and that'll be tonight. And you can do that. We can do that. But I'm gonna be on here right now, and I'm gonna look at all of these games and say, well, what did you really see that you liked from your team? Because you're talking about a lot of these backup positions. You're not playing Jared Goff. You're not playing Justin Fields. They're not going out there. And if you're seeing anything of Jordan Love, it's not much, but I don't even think that he played at all either. You're not seeing Kirk Cousins. You're not seeing any of the best players. So you're literally having a bunch of your dishwashers and your drywallers going out there, and they're trying to make the bottom of the roster. They're trying to make a practice squad spot. You know, a lot of these battles are for, depth positions that are on the bubble of the roster to begin with. So you're looking for guys that can play multiple things. They're looking that they can play a position and maybe even part of special teams. So those are the types of things you're really looking for, but we can talk some smack. There you go. Every Monday night. Join us tonight.
When it comes to the Lions, Russ, I think 2 big things that happened this week is the Lions waived Denzel Mims, and some of the cretins in the groups that don't understand how the trade worked thinks that somehow the Lions took a loss there. They did not. They got a free look at a guy that was drafted 59th overall 3 years ago. A free look at him. They waived him. We lose absolutely nothing. Also, Mohamed Ibrahim, undrafted free agent, is injured.
Yep.
Lions waived him. Really bummed out about that one. I was really hoping this kid would be something special. And we wish him the best, and I hope he does land in the league somewhere. To me, those are the 2 biggest stories of the week for the Lions.
Yeah, and as far as the Ibrahim thing goes, I mean, we are putting something out today. I think at like 2:00. I wrote a little something up on him, and I did like him. And one of the things they can do now, instead of doing an injury settlement with him, is if he clears the waivers, they can bring him on to the 53 and then put him on IR. And I think that would be really, really cool, because that would mean he wouldn't have to take a settlement. He would get paid his full, whatever they had promised him. I think that he got a bonus for being an undrafted free agent and signing here. So that would be cool if it works out like that, for sure. Bear Down Mike comes in and says Badgett was awesome. So let's get into that Chicago right there. And that was a show out right there. Badgett 9 for 10 for 76 yards. And he looked good. He even had a rushing touchdown, right?
Yeah. Been chirping ever since the game ended about Badgett. So maybe Chicago did find a diamond in the rough there. And if Justin Fields can't figure out how to throw the ball or read a defense, or if he continues to run like a madman and he ends up getting hurt, they're going to need somebody besides P.J. Walker to try to get you out of it. So maybe Tyler Badgett's the answer for the Bears.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say right there. They brought in P.J. Walker probably because of his chemistry with DJ Moore and everything, and thinking that he could win that backup job. But we'll put that in there as Bear Down Mike and Rashnish. What did you think of him? And did he do enough to move him ahead of P.J. Walker on that depth chart that maybe he could be the one who backs up Justin Fields? Rashnish says that my point was that no team is playing their starters, so who gives a crack what people say about backups playing bad? And we agree. And that's kind of where we were. And I think this next comment goes into it. He says, how about Kaminsky, buddy, playing like Max Crosby against these backups? We have such a plethora of depth at the pass rushing position that they had to put some people that were out there. And it's good to know that, Kaminsky is a starter level player that was out there, and he looked like a man amongst the boys. He had no business being out there with a bunch of backups, but we had to throw somebody out there, and they pulled him out after he was dominating, after he got done dominating the second quarter. So they definitely didn't have anybody out there to run up the score, but I love that comment. You like that? Robert with good morning pitches, FYT, go back, go.
What does FYT mean?
I don't know.
You too?
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
Oh, my God.
That must be what it means.
I don't know. That was good, though, man. You like that? You got me on that. Yeah. Love played and did well again. Okay. Let me look in here. Let me see what Love. The Packers, we're looking at their stats. Sean Clifford was 13 for 19 for 137 yards, and Jordan Love was 5 for 8 for 84 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, Jaden Reed, Michigan State, scored that touchdown, 19-yarder. So good for him. I think that kid's going to end up being a great draft pick for the Pack.
Yep, and he should play well. To the point that we're making right now, that these are backups. And if you put your starting team out there and your starting quarterback, he better be able to beat the backups. So kudos to Jordan Love for playing well against the backups. Sean Clifford, man, that dude looks like that might be a pretty good pick for you. He seems pretty poised. I'm more impressed with Sean Clifford when you look at what he's done. It was a criticized pick at the time, and it's like, if the guy can ball, he can ball. And it looks like he's unfazed with NFL pressures, and looks like he's stepped out and done very well, and probably will win that backup job. Eric Chalmers says the only thing I was interested in it's to see Tyson Bagent and Rojan, and then I stopped watching. LOL. O'Malley fights were on.
It does seem that way in the preseason, that by halftime you are over it.
Yeah, that second half of that Lions game was brutal to watch. Lance says drywallers and dishwashers, aka best athletes in the world. Easy on that shit. Okay, we're sorry.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We should be. We're just trying to be funny. It's these guys are obviously, anybody that makes the practice squad or any of these athletes are better than anybody that I know playing football. Okay,
I think that's a fair call out too. You like that? Just to be able to make it into an NFL training camp, you deserve a certain amount of respect as an athlete, and to be called a dishwasher or a drywaller is pretty much an insult. So you're right. And from now on, we'll use cab driver.
Cab driver, is that a level up? No, I think when it comes to, when we say that, it's not a rip on the player as the player. It's the thing is that the NFL is so hard that these guys that were trying to make an NFL roster are going to have to find other ways to make money, because they're not going to make the team. It's not a rip on them as people and their skills. It's more of a uplifting part of how hard it is to make it into the NFL. Robert says that Teddy Bridgewater sucks. That's worthy of talking about right there. You like that? He came out, he was awful. What was it? 2-3 and outs in a row.
Well, my first takeaway from that, Russ, is it's really weird to see a quarterback wearing number 50, first of all. But yeah, he didn't have a very much time with the playbook. They just threw him out there. He's out there with a bunch of backups. Let's see what Teddy can do when he's got that stellar offensive line in front of him. But for now, and from that performance, that's a fair call out.
Absolutely. There was one of the plays where it looked like he wasn't on the same page, and he went to try to hand the ball off on the wrong side to Craig Reynolds. Yeah. And stuff like that. It's like that stuff, once he learns the playbook, should be. And I mean, for you to say that Teddy B sucks because after 6 days with a playbook, he's starting with a brand new team that is awful. Well, I mean, I think he's been pretty good in his career in other situations. I'm willing to give him a little bit.
That was probably a Vikings fan who wasted a first-round pick on a backup quarterback. So.
No, that was Robert. That was Robert that said that. But still, they're rolling out Jordan Love, and right now Jordan Love hasn't proved that he's any better than Teddy B. So, Daniel says that Bears secret Badgett man taking field spot soon. Daniel's coming. That's pretty tough guy words right there coming out.
Secret Badgett man. Secret Badgett man.
Jason MC's in there. Skull. All right. Detroit talk with John Kapler. Detroit fans and YouTubers freaking out over Saturday's preseason game. Chill, it's preseason. Need to get y'all a straight jacket. Yeah, I don't think anybody on here is freaking about it. I'm not even seeing any good trolling in here.
John Dorn's not out of bed yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen John Dorn in here. I was talking to him a little bit earlier in one of the NFC North the Huddle chats. Oh, here's a good one right here. I found one. Brent says that Starling Thomas is our new kick returner. He had burst. Did you see him?
I did not see Starling Thomas return a kick. Did you?
I saw him return 2 kicks, and and he averaged 33 yards a kick. And
all right.
And it wasn't him, really doing a ton of moves or anything. He's just so damn fast that he'd catch the ball and he was to the 30-yard line before anybody could try to tackle him. So if he like I was saying a little bit earlier, like when you're at the bottom of this depth chart and you're talking about he would be a DB5 or DB6 on our team, maybe DB4 if he's pushing up, but him being able to be a kick returner and being a factor on special teams is definitely going to help his chances. I think that he's almost a lock to make the roster at this point, to your point. You like that, Brent? I love that comment.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell has come right out and said the difference is going to be your special teams play. That's going to be the difference between making this team and not making the team. And if he's showing out on kick returns and he's got blazing speed, they'll find a spot for him on special teams for sure. And I think that's another reason. I think that's the reason that Benny Snell also will make this team, because he was a special team specialist in Pittsburgh for a few years. So I think special teams is what's going to separate these guys, just like Dan Campbell said. And Starling Thomas should make the team. And I hope Stephen Gilmore makes the team as well. He played well in his limited action.
Yeah, that was another glowing that there might actually be 2 of them, because we were talking last week on how you were surprised that I thought Ifeatu Melifonwu wouldn't make the team. It's more to do with the fact that he can't stay on the field, but it might have something to do with these younger guys outplaying him. The Facebook user says that the starting defense was on the field for the Pats. I don't know that for sure, but I mean that could very well be true that they put those out there like that. So
thank you, John Dorn.
Is that John Dorn out there? But that's cool. I mean that's good. That's good that he would be out there. And what I want to do right now is, because I hate seeing Facebook user when I mean, doesn't that annoy you too? Because you want to know who you're talking to, right? So what I'm going to do right now, this is the YouTube link of what you're watching right now, the YouTube version of it. I threw that as a comment out there. If you're not watching it on our YouTube, please jump over to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I've heard from multiple people that's a way better experience to watch, live stuff. So that's usually from you. And chime in there. Where's your favorite spot to, watch stuff like this? But I think it's usually the YouTube that everybody likes. All right, have to take my shots when I can. That's what Jeremy B says. I don't know who he was taking shots at. Jason says the Jordan Love comparison to Teddy Bridgewater is laughable. Yeah, I think it is too, because Jordan's never started any games and Bridgewater's way more experienced than what he is, at least. I know you probably thought it is for a different reason, but it is laughable. I mean, there is so much hype on Jordan Love out there. I mean, if he falls on his face, are you, as a Packer fan, are you freaking out at all that could happen? Because I know that you want us to buy this. You've had MVP quarterbacks and you've had Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and he's just the next one. You want us to buy that, but the people from the outside don't really buy that. He's got to come out and prove it, just like everybody else, just like you're telling me that Jared Goff hasn't proven anything. I mean, here's a guy that's been to a Super Bowl, and you're trying to sell Jordan Love to me.
I'm sorry, but I think Jordan Love is going to struggle, especially on third down. Everyone around him is so young. His tight ends are rookies. His wide receivers are second-year players. He himself is essentially a rookie. When the running game gets stopped, and don't get me wrong, the Packers have a great running game, okay? A decent offensive line and a great running game, but you can't run the entire game. And when third down rolls around, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, you need veteran presence. You need experience to read the defense, know what's coming, and he's going to have to take his lumps, man. Mm-hmm. I'll give you, the kid is talented, okay? He is. They drafted him in the first round. They moved up to get him for a reason. They let Aaron Rodgers go for a reason, because his upside is huge. He might be great someday, but right now he's going to have to take his lumps. Even Aaron Rodgers only won 6 games in his first year.
Right.
So Packer fans, I understand your enthusiasm. I do, but let's be realistic. The kid is going to struggle. If you're expecting 12 wins this year, you're going to be disappointed.
Wow. Yeah, you should bring that trash talk to here on Monday night, because I mean, if you're telling me that you think that the Teddy Bridgewater comparison is laughable because Jordan Love is so much better, I think it's laughable. I think that's laughable, because Teddy Bridgewater has came in and won NFL games before. He was 7-2 when he was the backup for Drew Brees down a stretch. I mean, he's good. He's been a good backup. He's proven that he can be an NFL quarterback. Jordan Love has not.
He's won more games than Jordan Love's ever started, or played in even.
Right. He was not good in Miami last year, though. I mean, I know that's what they'll probably fire back on. And he wasn't good in this last preseason game where he had 4 days to prepare to be in.
He wasn't good in Carolina either.
But he was pretty good in Minnesota. When
He's a backup.
No, he was the starter in Minnesota.
Yeah, but he is a backup quarterback.
He is and
I feel good about it. I feel good about having a backup quarterback that the players will rally around, who has experience and played in the league. The game has already slowed down for him. We're in great shape with Teddy B as a backup. Are we in great shape with Teddy B as a starter? No. Go ask Miami. No, you're not good as a starter with Teddy B, but as a backup, a solid, steady hand sitting on the bench ready to step in and keep the ship afloat if needed.
Right on. Rob Turvo says that you need to be able to play with the people that are on the field, because in a regular season, Teddy Bridgewater may be put into a game situation where he has to play with 3 or 4 backups like Aaron Rodgers did last year, with 3 or 4 starters out on the offensive line. I'm going to agree. I'm going to give you 2 on that. You're not getting any more than 2 on that, because the situation that Teddy Bridgewater is in is a situation that nobody can overcome, because that's not 3 or 4 starters out. That's all of your starters out. Every single starter and your first backup is out. And you don't have any starting wide receivers. Your top 5 wide receivers are out. Your top 2 running backs are out. So that's not like, I give it to you because he is going to have to play with whatever's there. But if he's ever going in there under that situation, nobody can be expected to win. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I didn't say anything. That's a good take.
Jeremy B says that Starling Thomas makes the roster. He had a 42-yard kick return. Okay.
All right.
Facebook user Ian Rappaport just tweeted that Goff was traded to the Canadian Football League. Wow, that's weak. That is so weak considering he's the best. At the very lowest, the second best quarterback in this division, and no one can even dispute that other than hope and prayers. The Canadian Football League. Oh my God. Oh, geez. Let's see. Dylan Drummond did well in the first half. Yep. Facebook user says, is Nick Green? Oh, this is Nick Green, and they were on the field. Okay. And it looks like that's where
Nick Green makes an appearance.
Yeah, and he won't subscribe to my YouTube channel. I get that. I understand that, Nick.
To you from the Skinwalker Ranch.
Even though, oh, there he is. Oh, wow, he did subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is awesome. Thank you, Nick Green. I hopped on. I am a Facebook user. Yeah, we all have. We all got the.
Nick Green, of course. Nick Green, of course, the host of the Frozen Tundra Network, our Green Bay Packers affiliate. We love him and we hate him. So thanks for being a part of the show today, Nick. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and if you are a Green Bay Packer fan, please go over and subscribe to the Bill the Packer Fans YouTube page. He's got one of those page too. And then the Frozen Tundra that they're broadcasting onto I think they're in our main event page as well as their page, the Frozen Tundra Network, as well as Bill the Packer Fan. So they are our resident Packer fans, and we love having you, and we love being able to promote your show. We just don't like your team. That's all good. Facebook. Hey, they're good people. There's some good Packer fan people. We've learned to like a couple of them as people, even though they don't have our love for losing. Bear Down Mike says, watching Lions game, I thought PJ Walker was throwing the ball. Okay, he's watching the Lions game. I thought PJ Walker was throwing the ball. LOL. Joking.
He's ripping on Bridgewater.
He was he's only been there a short time, but hasn't had time to mesh with the team. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to overreact on that. You guys can. Was Teddy wearing gloves? Teddy two gloves. I think he was. Dawn coming in with a go Pack go. Thank you for watching the show. Brent says we are blessed to have Teddy B. Didn't look like a blessing on Saturday. Jordan Love will be a backup by next season, says Daniel. I think that he agrees with you. Like oh, Teddy is going to be great behind the starting offensive line. That goes back to your point right there. Jason says Jordan Love has way better mechanics and athletic ability than Teddy. Changed my mind. I don't know.
I'll go with that. No, I'll go with that. He's got more upside. We just said it. He's got more upside. He's got more athletic ability. As far as mechanics goes, he does look good when he drops back and throw. I got to admit, his mechanics look good. But there's a hell of a lot more to playing quarterback in the NFL than that.
Yeah, well, when I have to sit here and listen to Packer fans tell me how he hasn't done anything, and when you got to prove it, I'm going to throw that right back at you. Teddy B has already proven that he can be an NFL quarterback. Jordan Love has not. I mean, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to try to change your mind either. I got to watch it. I got to watch it unfold. I have to see it happen. I've already seen it from Teddy. Brent says, I just hope that the Lions coaching staff can find a way to get Houston into the scheme. All right, we got a James Houston sighting here. Your thoughts on James Houston?
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be a beast again. The Lions have challenged him to step up his game outside of just the pass rush. They've been putting more on his plate, and he's been delivering. He's really working hard on his craft, on his game. I think James Houston's going to stay in this league for a very long time.
Yeah, he was competing with Julian Okwara for one of the last roster spots on his team, and that's why there's been rumors out there that Brad Holmes is out shopping, some of our depth at defensive line. We don't want to cut these guys and just let them go into waiver wire and let somebody pick them up, try to get some value out of them. And Houston is right on that bubble. He could end up being traded if they end up.
I don't think there's any way in hell they trade James Houston
or Romeo Okwara or Julian Okwara or one of these guys that's on the bottom of that. Even I don't think Charles Harris, because it seems like they really like Charles Harris, but I mean, we'll see what comes to that bottom. Maybe they do find a way to keep all of them pass rushers. You can't have enough of them, really. Wow, Nick's getting a bunch of love. A-Dub is good. Yeah, all right. Come on, Russ, give Teddy a few. Hey, the thing is we run a trash talk show. Brent, and I love it. And I love it, but we gotta allow these other fan bases to have their shots. And Teddy did not play well. He went 3 and out like 3 times in a row. And so but Mike, when we cut out, I actually got to cut out. I ain't even gonna be able to talk to anybody today because I'm here by myself. I got to get the kid off the bus, and they've been coming a little bit early. So we got about 5 more minutes before we got to wrap this up, but we've gotten through all the comments right here. Teddy B is a proven NFL bum. Okay. Well, there was an article came out, ESPN, about a week ago that had him as a top 5 backup quarterback in the league. So, yeah, that's a take. Jason says Teddy has proven to be a backup, nothing more. Yep. I can't disagree with that. He had a great promising start to his career before that horrific injury that he had. But kudos to Teddy for even being able to come back from that injury and be at any type of serviceable quarterback. And yep. The Minnesota Vikings sold him down the road like, a cheap piece of meat and just cut him, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. They let him go.
They let him go, and I know he probably feels some certain kind of way. So maybe he'll be able to get some revenge. Hey, goodbye, everyone. Russ, Mike, and Sarah from Woody. That's good.
Oh, Woody. I love Woody. He reminds me of like that nice cop that let me go and dump my bag of weed out on the ground once.
I love it. All right. Kyle says, I'm kind of a Packer fan. I am a Packer fan, and my prayers to Isaiah, the cornerback from the Patriots. Wish him and his family the best and hope for a quick recovery right there. And I think that's got to get a Kirk. You like that. And actually, I think I'm going to use that to beginning to close out the show right there, because I want to end on a good on a prayer right there and all right and be doing that.
Let's get them again tonight. Let's get them tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's the NFC North Open Mic Night Trash Talk Edition. Bring your thick skin and leave your feelings at the door. Come get a piece. Also, don't forget, it's the Main Event Podcast. It's Main Event 365 Podcast, all Detroit Lions for 1 hour every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m.
That's awesome right there. And yes, that is Main Event Mike right there. And I am Russell Wayne, and this is NFC North Talk. And we do this every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. In the Central time. And we appreciate all listeners. Anybody that's coming out here and listening to us talking heads on here, we're just a bunch of fans. Like, you're a bunch of fans. We just wanted to create an outlet right here for everybody to be able to talk some football. I'm sorry I can't really jump on and talk with anybody, but we will definitely be doing that tomorrow. I'll take some time out and be able to chat with you guys. I will see you guys tonight for sure. 7 p.m. tonight for NFC North Talk. That's the open mic with Main Event Mike. God bless each and every one of you guys, and one pride, baby.